Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jef. Jef is from South Carolina, but he lives in Texas, in the USA. So let's see what Jef has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Jef. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I'm just figuring this thing out. I don't think I've ever logged on my phone on Zoom.
Yeah, the first time is always a bit tricky.
Can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah. Can you hear me as well?
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So, Jef, tell me, how's your day been so far?
Well, honestly, it's my day off, so I just woke up not too long ago. It's been very relaxing. I made myself a smoothie, and I've just been relaxed, enjoying it.
What is in it on your smoothie? What is on it?
Say that one more time.
What is your shake? What is the flavor of your shake?
This one in here is passion fruit and pineapple. Yeah.
I love passion fruit.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for pineapple. I'll eat and drink pineapple anything. Yeah.
Jef, tell me, where are you from?
Originally I'm from South Carolina. Now I'm based out of Texas.
And why Texas?
Work brings me out here a lot. So the company I work for is based out of Texas, and they kind of move me around Texas.
I see. So tell me, what do you do for living, for work?
I'm a project manager in the utility industry. So I manage utility projects across the U.S.
So tell me a little bit about your job.
It can be fun. It's basically, we get contracted to do upgrades on the utility infrastructure, whether it's gas, water, electric, the meter grid, and sometimes solar. But it's a lot of production-based situations. You know, whatever we're doing, it's a lot of production-based. We do a lot of hiring. It's kind of like we're a staffing company for utilities. So we do a lot of hiring, and we train people to do certain jobs or whatever they are. They're always different. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's a lot of outside work. I thought it was going to be, when I first started doing it, I thought it was going to be a lot of inside work, but it's a lot of outside work, which I kind of like. When it's not too hot, it does in Texas though, for sure.
I see. And how long have you been living in Texas for?
Right at, I think 2 years. I've been out here about 2 years.
And do you see yourself living there for a long while?
It's not my forever home. Let me say that. It's not my forever home. I either see myself back in South Carolina or maybe Southern California. One of the two.
I see. I was checking a little bit your profile on Instagram, and I believe you are a comedian as well.
I say I am. I don't know. On TikTok, I'm kind of funny sometimes.
So tell me a little bit about your vein of a comedian. A little bit a part of your comedy. What's the inspiration for your TikTok videos?
So on there, my shtick is I really just react to people most of the time. At least when I go viral, that's what's happening, is I'm saying something funny after someone else says something. And it's usually raunchy or, inappropriate. But for some reason, I click with that genre of people, I guess. And it seems to take off. I've only had probably 2 videos that went viral that weren't raunchy. So, which has been fun. I don't know if you've ever did anything like that where it just took off and you're getting all these messages from strangers and you're like, wow, this is a different experience. Everyday people aren't used to that. And I definitely was not prepared for that anytime. So it's been fun. But on there, it's mainly raunchy comedy, which when I watch TikToks, my algorithm is kind of cat videos and workout videos and cooking. So I get mostly that. So every now and then I'll get like the LGBT community and someone's doing like a thirst trap or something, and that's where I jump in, and say something probably stupid that I shouldn't say. That I would be embarrassed if my family saw, but it makes it fun.
Absolutely. I believe that TikTok, those platforms, it's about to have fun. It's about for you to express yourself, connect with other people, making fun of things that make people they don't talk about. And I think that's the best fun of those platforms on TikTok.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jef, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Sure. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend, okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to get a bit in the mood before the first question. Let's do it. Oh, I can see you like dancing. It's coming out slowly. Jef, before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, nice question. If you could sit down with your 13 years old self, what would you say?
If I could sit down with my 13-year-old self, I would probably say be more outgoing. If there's one regret I have in life is when I was a kid, I didn't make as many friends as I could have. I was always nervous of rejection, I think. And I actually still have friendships with a lot of people that I went to school with after the fact. And I think that I would have enjoyed my childhood a lot more had I been more outgoing and just not been afraid of rejection. Because at the end of the day, I think what's the worst that could happen is, okay, I didn't make a friend. Well, the way I approached it, I didn't make one anyway. So I should have tried a little harder there. So I think that would be it, is be more outgoing.
What do you think at that time that hold you back to be more shy or more reserved? What was the things that were holding you back?
I had a more of a rough upbringing. We moved around a lot. So I got to not having stability at home, not having stability at school. So I think that played a lot into it. We just moved around a lot and I wasn't really a stable person to get to know. I think that contributed to that.
I see. And do you have siblings as well?
I do. I have an older sister, Angel. She actually just had a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Angel, if you see this.
Happy birthday, Angel. Happy birthday. I hope you had a great time.
And then I do have another brother. So my sister is 2 years older than me. My brother is almost 10 years younger than me. So his name is Case.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it.
Loving the energy.
Yes, let's spread energy around. Next question for you is, what's the biggest prize you ever won?
Biggest prize I ever won? Ooh. I don't know, because I don't think I've ever really won many prizes. At work, someone bought me a trophy and said I was one of their best bosses. So I guess that's a prize, I don't know.
Oh, wow, for sure.
Maybe something out of one of those claw machines, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I have won bears before, so I thought that was pretty cool. But as far as like monetary prizes, I don't think I've ever won anything like that.
I see. And when you received this trophy from one of your employees, one of your colleagues, what was the reason? Or was like a celebration moment, or was just a genuine gesture?
So at work, at that point I was managing several different warehouse locations. I had about 70 something employees under me, and I was throwing a Christmas party. And sometimes at work, I'll be a little sarcastic because they'll do something and they want a pat on the back. And it's, I'll smart off to them like, oh, well, that was expected. What do you want, a trophy? I never get a trophy. So at this Christmas party, they kind of all banded together to get me this trophy. So I thought it was really kind of cool. Yeah, it was a neat moment, and I had never had that before at work because I was kind of new into the management field at that point.
Amazing. Very good. Special, for sure. Next question, let's do it. Right, as you're talking about your job, about work, in your current job, what do you like the most about your job? And also, there's always a challenging part. What that would be?
It's the same thing. It's traveling. I love to travel. It's my favorite thing, to meet new people, eat new food, strange food. But at the end of the day, that vacation gets lonely when you're on the road all the time. I've been in Texas for 2 years. My friends and family are back home in the Carolinas and Georgia. So that's like 18 to 20 hours away. It gets lonely. So traveling for sure.
I see. And so you are based in Texas, and anyhow, some point you can be somewhere else or not?
It depends on our contracts. Like, I think next year I'm going to St. Louis, I believe. St. Louis or New Mexico, something like that. The contracts change. We get sent all over the country.
I see. Okay, next question for you is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they get married?
That is a loaded question. That is a loaded question. I think boundaries is one of the biggest things. All the boundaries of what you expect out of a relationship, what you can put up with, what you can't put up with is a big one. Expectations and boundaries, what you both want from it. If you want the white picket fence, the dog, the house, the kid or children, all of that is something that should be talked about for sure.
Do you believe that before people they get married, they should spend some time living together before they give the big step?
I believe there's different types of marriages, different types of relationships. What may work for me may not work for you or for someone else. I learned that a lot. Last year I got out of a 7-year relationship. I wasn't married, but I felt like I was. We didn't have the paper in the ring, but I felt like I was. And what worked for us, wasn't going to work for other people. So I think that, not that it's a trick question, but it's a trick question. I have friends who don't live together they have a relationship with someone, they're married with someone, they don't live with them. So, it depends on the person and what they're willing to accept.
Totally agree. I think there are no rules. As long as both are in the same level, following the same path, why not? As you mentioned about the 7 years relationship in the past, when you look back, what is the biggest lesson you learned out of that journey?
Communication. I have this problem of thinking that if I'm thinking something, the other person is understanding what I'm thinking. So I think I need to communicate more. Communicate needs, wants, goals, boundaries. Mm-hmm. But communication is the biggest lesson I learned that I wasn't doing. And I need to communicate more.
I believe that all those things that you didn't learn in our relationship is like a lesson for the next one. You know what I mean? I'm sure the next relationship you're gonna be the most communicated person in the couple. Next question. Let's do it. I'm gonna follow your moves now.
I have no moves, I promise.
Right, next question for you is, where are you planning to go for your next vacation?
I actually just posted this on Instagram the other day. I am looking forward to going to Toronto. So first, I've never been outside of the country. I've never been outside the United States, and there's, a lot of places I want to visit, but I feel like Canada is really close and a really easy place to go to for someone who's never left before. They speak the language that I speak, so it'll be easy for the first time. After that, I want to go to Mexico City. Then I want to go to the UK. I want to go to Europe. Actually, I want to see parts of Africa. There's a lot of places I want to go, but I think Toronto is probably the first place to see.
Last night, the interview went live last night, was from a lovely guy from Toronto.
Oh, really?
We had the interview during this week, and went out last night. I've been there, I've been to Toronto, and we talk a lot about the city. He's very proud of the city. He was living in Vancouver before. Now he's based in Toronto, and he's so proud. And I've been there a few years ago. The first time I went to Canada, I went to Toronto, and it's a beautiful city. It's just, it's very diverse as well. You feel different other nationalities there. The gay community as well is very, let's say, welcome. So it was a great time. I loved it.
Wow.
Next question. Let's do it. Right. Before the next question, when you think about South Carolina, your hometown, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
The beach. We have some pretty beaches down there. When I was a kid, we used to go to Myrtle Beach a lot. It's a little bit too big for now, I think. But I used to love going down there with my dad and my sister. It was really fun.
And in your opinion, Jef, what's the biggest difference between South Carolina and Texas state? There are a lot of differences?
Texas is a little bit more diverse. It's on the border with Mexico. It's got a lot of people from South America and Central America coming up here. There's more opportunity, I think. There's a lot more going on in Texas. We've got a lot of large cities: Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth. South Carolina is just a little bit more slow paced. I think that's the biggest difference, is there's more opportunities in Texas, and it's more done.
All right. Next question is, what is the scary thing that happened to you?
Scary thing that happened to me? Some people might think this is a little silly, but a couple of years ago, I had an online stalker who just kept on and on, like messaging me, creating new accounts and stalking me. And not just me, but my friends and family on Facebook,
Wow.
So that was getting a little bit serious. I don't think he's stopped yet, but I've learned to move away from Facebook a little bit. Now I use Instagram more and TikTok, and I'm trying to move away from Facebook a little bit more. I keep it kind of because my family's there, and the pictures from over the years are still there, and I'm probably too lazy to pull them off and move them somewhere else. But I think that's probably one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. Is I didn't really think that was a reality that could happen to just any Joe Schmo off the street.
And it was just like that to start receiving those messages?
Well, there's more into it. It wasn't just like that. I thought it was an online friend from a different country that I was being friendly. I was, talking back to, and then that quickly became an infatuation. And, I was in a relationship. That's not what I was there for. And I had to move away from that quickly. And for me, there was no getting away from that. And it was traumatizing. And I say that because several friends would receive threats, nude pictures. They weren't me, but they were said to be me. Anytime, probably last summer, anytime I would look at my phone, if there was a private message in my Facebook inbox, I would have some PTSD, because I'm like, oh, great, I'm going to see another screenshot of my face, or, threatening messages. It got pretty bad. I reported it to Facebook. I went to the authorities. There's not much I could do with them from the country that they're from. So I just had to learn to deal with it.
I see. Thanks for sharing that, Jeff. I think there are so many people out there as well, maybe facing the same situation, and sometimes they feel lost. They don't know how to deal with that. And of course, people behind the social media, they can, do a lot as well. Sometimes you need to somehow protect yourself or getting away of it. But I'm glad you didn't get off from Facebook yet, because that's how we connected. Next one, let's do it. Next question for you is, what does love mean to you?
Love. Love means friendship. I really believe that if you love someone, you are their best friend. You'll do anything for them, they'll do anything for you. I'm assuming you're talking about companionship. Outside of, just loving a relative. Yeah, it means friendship, companionship, trusting each other, respecting each other, doing whatever you need to do to make them happy, and vice versa. But it also means loving yourself, which is something I struggle with sometimes. Is I struggle with loving myself. And I know that I can't really give someone my complete love until I can completely love myself and be happy with myself too. So that's what that means to me.
It's interesting saying that, because when I was checking your profile on Instagram, you come across a very confident person. Also, your pictures, you're a very handsome guy. You come across a very, spontaneous, good-looking guy. Why do you think that it's a bit difficult for you to kind of be more, yourself, or express yourself in a more genuine way?
So it's ironic that you say that, because I do that as a journey. I can see myself pretty much every week for the last year and a half. I've posted a selfie because I've been working out, or I've been working on myself because I have been unhappy with the way I look. And surprisingly, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I've got, friendships, from all over the world, people who are in fitness or, stuff like that, just reaching out, talking to me, giving me advice. I've made some other friends on there that they're always complimenting me, and that's nice. But I would much rather have, some real kind of friendship there, other than, hey, you look cute today, and stuff like that, And I've said that on a couple times on live, which I'm always appreciative if someone wants to talk to me on there. Unfortunately, I can't talk to everybody on there. It's quite a few people, and I'm surprised that many people are following me, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing that, but I'm thankful. It's been fun. Like I said earlier, this traveling job that I have, it gets lonely. So Instagram and TikTok specifically, when these people do reach out, it has been really fun and really good for me, I think.
Yes, I agree, and I think as well, Jeff, it's because I think, as I said before, when I was looking at your picture, you come across this, confident person. It's because you are living a life now. You feel happy with yourself. You work on yourself, and that's what people see, even though they don't know you. I think that's what gets attention of people. When you start to, to feel more confident and work out in yourself or express yourself in a way, people, they get that, And people, they kind of connect with you. Of course, there's always a little more spicy about your look, or about, I know exactly what I mean. But at the end of the day, people, they like that, and they feel comfortable, and they feel it when people, they are being themselves. And I can see there that you are just, expressing yourself, and people see that.
Well, that's awesome. I never really thought about it that way. So
yeah, but I always believe that as well, because of course social media, they sell perfection, that they're not perfection, perfectionism, there are a lot there. But saying that, people, when they see people, hanging out, showing a little bit about their lives, or showing about their body, or how they're improving, or working out, or being more confident, people, they see that and they connect that. And I think people, they appreciate as well. And I think you say that you feel lonely because your travels, maybe after this interview, you're not gonna be lonely anymore. Maybe the right person out there is watching now and gonna go like, you know what? You're not gonna be lonely anymore. I'm joking.
Wait, is this live right now?
No, it's not live. I'm recording,
Oh.
but ready for another question?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Next one. Next question for you is, what is the strangest gift or the funniest gift have you ever received?
The strangest gift. I'm trying to think, like, I think I've only really received like either romantic things or just random regular things.
So let's put the question a different way. What is the most romantic thing have you ever received?
Actually, it was really in the form of a trip. I had someone come visit me out on the road one time. It was someone I was seeing at that point. He came out with me for a week. It was kind of like we were on vacation. I was still working, but it was like we were on vacation at the same time because I got to go do so much stuff while I was still out on the road working. And that was, for me, was one of the best things is, you know, someone just threw in that effort, flew halfway across the country, came to see me. We went and did a Renaissance fair, the aquarium, all of that stuff. And it was for Halloween too. So that was an extra bonus. Like we went to Halloween party. Yeah, that was probably one of the most thoughtful things someone has ever done for me.
Amazing. Saying that, a guy to go on a date with you, what they must have and what they must not have.
The must-have is a larger-than-life personality. I don't want to carry the entire conversation, the entire evening. I'm not saying they've got to talk a lot. Just let's have some personality with each other. Physical attributes, I don't care. I'm more of a what's up here, what's in here type person. So that's the must-haves for sure. The must-not-haves, I don't know, attitude. It's a turn off when someone's disrespectful to the wait staff, I think, or they don't know how to plan a date. Like if you're gonna ask me out, I would expect for you to have like the itinerary of the evening, or if I asked you out, I would have it planned out. So, you know, creativity is something. You got to have that. And if you don't have that, then that's going to be a rough date, I guess. It's a bunch of, well, what do you want to do? Well, what do you want to do? I don't like that.
It would be the whole time, what you want to do? But what you want to do? Back and forth.
Sure.
Ready for another one?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Next question. Look at you. Right, before the question, Jef, tell me, being a gay boy, how was growing up being gay? And did you always have the support of your family?
I was in the closet until I was 21. I was in the closet. I did have a few experiences in my teenage years, but I was still in the closet. Where I'm from, it wasn't accepting. It is now, but not as what you would want it to be. You know, it's still very conservative. But you can walk down the street holding your partner's hand if you want. You might get called a slur, but you won't get beat up, I don't think. So, but that's how it was growing up. When I came out, I told my sister Angel first. She was very accepting. She kind of taught me into telling my mom. I couldn't come out and speak to my mom and say it, so I texted her. I just couldn't do it. She was very accepting. And I think both of them really knew. They just, you know, didn't ruin that for me. They gave me the chance to come out to them. I didn't come out to my brother until years later. I never came out to my father. We just don't have a relationship together, unfortunately. And then the rest of my family, was not accepting. They are okay with it now. They were very what you wouldn't want. You know, they're a very religious family, I have. And I got the you're going to hell, you know, the Bible says this, the Bible says that, all of that stuff. I got it. I got them telling me that they were going to pray it away for me, all that stuff. So yeah, I kind of wish that would have went differently. It's not the storybook moment that most of us think when we're going to come out. You see it on like what Degrassi or the TV shows or whatnot. You don't. Everyone doesn't get those moments, and when I see those on movies and TV, I'm like, that would have been nice, and I hope that happens for everyone else out there. But as for me, it wasn't the greatest. I have a good relationship with that part of the family now, but in the back of my mind, I'm always like, well, this is how it really was when I first told you one of the most intimate, secretive things about me. This is how that went. So I'm always like on edge about them sometimes.
See, I'll tell you something now. I came out to my mom as well by text message. I'll tell you how it happened. I remember one day I just woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to tell her now. I was already living in London, and I sent her a message on WhatsApp. And I said to her, I said, Mom, are you free to talk? Are you free to have a talk? And I was like, oh my God, don't answer. And she replied straight away. She said, hey, what's happening? What's going on? And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? So I started, I was going around and I was like, oh, do you know when you were born, you don't choose to be a girl or boy? This kind of conversation. I was going around. And she was like, yes, I know that. And I was like, do you know that I've always been very independent? I always, you know what I mean, like my independence, like to live alone, this and that. She was like, yes, I know that, all of that. And at one point I was like, oh my God, did I have more things to say? So I put the hot potato in her hand. I was like, do you know more or less what I'm talking about, don't you? And her reply was the best. I was expecting. She said to me, is about your sexuality or I'm wrong? When she said that, I literally picked up the phone and I called her and she was laughing, like she was literally laughing. And I started laughing as well. And I was like, she was like, oh my God, I could just picture you going around with the conversation, you never get there. But she was very supportive and she said to me, I was just waiting for you to tell me one day, even though if you didn't want to tell me never, I would still be happy. But I believe, Jef, every parent, they know their child very well, sometimes even better than ourselves, you know what I mean? But it's not easy to have this conversation because it always happened to the neighbor, to other members of the family, but never happened to our household, you know what I mean, in our family. It's always like that. Anyway, so I think all of us, we have those time in our lives where we're gonna somehow, it's gonna happen somehow.
Yes,
absolutely. Next question is, talking about parents, what's the most memorable lesson you've learned from your parents?
From my parents, my mom specifically taught me to be very empathetic for people. You know, I don't know how, but I have strong feelings for just anyone I see on the street, if they're struggling, if they need something. I've always been very charitable. And I don't know if that's why I do so well, you know, in life right now. I don't know, because I've been very charitable and she's really taught me that, you know, if someone's in need, if they need food, shelter, water, whatever, I give as much as I can. So I think that that's something that I really am thankful that she's taught me. I see myself in her. Excuse me. I see a lot of her in me. I mean, I'm just like her, to be honest with you. My father, I think my work ethic is something I got from him. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't really speak anymore. Like when I was 18 to like 21, we worked together. So he did kind of get me where I'm at in the industry that I'm in. I put the work in, but he did the training. and I learned a lot from him. So I would say I got a lot of my work ethic from him.
Is your mom the person you are more close in your family?
My mom is my best friend.
Amazing.
My best friend, but my mom is my best friend.
What's her name?
Her name is Crystal.
Crystal, your son is very proud. Saying that, what's the biggest difference between you and your mom, and what's the biggest similarity?
The biggest difference? Oh God, I don't know. I would say the biggest difference is probably our eating habits. Like, I eat a lot of junk food, and I probably try a lot of stuff outside of our culture. And I don't know that she does. The biggest similarities, like I said earlier, is probably the empathy that we have for people. That's probably her biggest similarity. She's got like this amazing heart, and I know she gets it from her mother. My grandmother was probably a saint. That's where she got it from.
I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it. Next question for you is, tell us about your earliest memory in life.
My earliest memory in life is one that never happened. That I can't explain this, but I was talking to a friend of mine a few years ago about when I was younger, my legs stopped working, and I crawled into the kitchen. And I was like tugging at my mom's legs, trying to tell her, I guess I was half groggy. I was like asleep. And she puts me back to bed. Then I got back out. And then I just remember her walking us to the hospital for me to get looked at. And because for whatever reason, I was like paralyzed.
Wow.
So I found out probably last year that never happened. And I can see it. But my mom says it never happened. And I'm like, no way, because I remember this like it was yesterday, I remember the house we lived in. I remember that she had me on one hip. She was holding my sister's hand. We were she was walking to the hospital because our dad at the time had the car, and he was like gone somewhere. It's the way I remember it, but she says it never happened. So, but unfortunately, that's one of the earliest memories that I have, which is kind of weird.
No, I mean, if in your mind it happened, why not? You know what I mean? It happened for you.
Right.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Wow. Right. Before the next question, let's say I'm coming to South Carolina for the very first time. What is the must to see in your state? What's something that I should visit or I should see? What the state sticks out compared to other states in America?
I think in South Carolina, the most beautiful city we have is Charleston, and it's right on the coast. You've got the beach and you've got the city life, and they have some amazing food and culture there, and history. You can see some of the monuments from earlier wars. I think there's some statues, there's some military ships that you can go on and see, museums. It's probably one of the prettiest cities here. And again, the food is probably the best, for sure.
I'll remember that. Next question is, what motivates you the most in life?
Say that one more time.
What motivates you the most in life?
What motivates me is probably the fear of being homeless. Earlier, we talked about stability, and I wasn't used to having it. I learned a few weeks ago that a lot of people don't live with regular anxiety, and I probably live with a lot of anxiety, and some of that comes from instability when I was younger. So I will go out of my way to work too much so I won't be homeless. And it's probably a weird thing, but that's one of my biggest motivators. The other thing is, as I'm not happy with myself, I'm always in the gym, and I want to see a better version of myself before it's too late. So that's one of my other biggest motivators.
Very good. Ready for the last one?
Yes.
Last question. Let's do it. Good dancer you are. Before the last question, Jef, you know, those last 2 years, the world went upside down regarding the COVID crisis, yeah? Personally for you, what's the biggest positive impact that brought to your personal life? And also, what's the most negative one, if you can share?
I'll start with the negative one so we can end on a positive note. The negative, you really got to see how much of our community cares about each other. Some of us didn't care enough to be safe for other people, and that was kind of depressing. You know, if all we had to do was sit at home a little bit longer, wash our hands a little bit more, stand a few more feet back, and we couldn't do that. I don't know if it's like that where you're from, but it was kind of like that here. We had a lot of people who just didn't care about each other's health, and that was it was kind of sad. The positive from it was that you actually did see the ones who did care, and they just went out of their way to make sure that everyone was safe, whether they put their own health at risk. You know, we had a lot of first responders, people like that who were not able to quarantine like the rest of us, and they were constantly working. And I don't know why I said the rest of us. I was at work. The utility industry didn't stop either. We had to go in every day, and at times we were kind of nervous. You know, when it first happened, we didn't know what was going on. We were scared. I remember having a meeting, and I pulled, my management staff outside, and we're kind of discussing what we needed to do. And we had no clue what this was going to become. You know, we're in our minds, we're like, is this going to be the next Walking Dead? Like, are we all going to die? You know, and it was spreading fast. You know how the media does, where it kind of like exacerbates what's going on. And it was probably needed at that point, but we probably should have listened a little bit more, I think. But yeah, that was one of the positives, is you seen, even though you had people who didn't care, you seen just how many people in your community who actually did care and were there for you.
Easy. Last question is, what is the best compliment have you ever received?
The best compliment? You're looking very young today. That's probably one of the best ones that I've ever received. You know, anytime someone wants to tell me I'm a little bit younger, then that's great, because I feel old.
Saying that, do you think that aging is just numbers, or for you personally, it kind of tricks you?
I'm just personally that I won't like myself before I get too old to like myself. That's really it. And I'm trying not to sound vain there, but I spent a lot of my time, a lot of my life not loving who I am. And I'm starting to come into accepting myself, and I'm wanting to do it before I'm like way too old to enjoy life. You know, I would love to just be out in a Speedo in the Turks and Caicos or something like that. And I right now don't have the mindset to be able to do that. So I want to get to where, you know, image wise in my mind, that I'm okay with, you know, just doing regular things like going to the beach. You know, what some people may take for granted, some others don't have the courage to do so. So.
All right. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay, good luck.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much, and enjoy the word association game. Money.
Bags. Money bags.
Family.
Love.
One word for life.
Happiness.
Sex.
More.
One word for love.
For love? I have nothing for that. I missed that. So I don't know.
Okay. One word for That's okay, amigo. Whatever comes to your mind. Politics.
I hate it. Hate.
Okay. Religion.
Complicated.
Fear.
Complicated.
Friendship. Complicated. I'm joking.
No. Trust.
Right? Desire.
Fun.
Regret.
Many.
Success.
Many.
Wish.
Many.
Happiness.
Happiness? Love. Love it.
One word for South Carolina.
Home.
One word for Texas.
Not home. Away.
And the last one now, USA, one word.
Complicated.
Right. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely mom for a coffee. As you mentioned, she's your best friend, and I'm going to ask her, tell me the most beautiful thing about Jef and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your mom would say.
She would tell you that I need to improve on my confidence. That's what she would tell you for sure. I think all of my friends would tell you that. Probably what she would tell you, one of the most wonderful things about me is how giving I am. I think she'd tell you that.
Amazing. Let's play now, Jef, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. There you go. What says in your t-shirt? Let me see what says there.
Gordito pero bonito.
I know what that means. Gordito and bonito as well. In Portuguese, bonito, you say handsome, and gordito, it's little fat, let's say. Little chubby. Right, Jef, you can ask me a question now.
Any question?
Any question.
What do you think is the leading cause for successful relationships? What do you think contributes to a successful relationship?
Okay, very good question. Love the question. I'll tell you something, Jef. When you were saying in the beginning about your communication, in your previous relationship, I believe that a relationship, it's about the first thing. Communication is the first thing you need to be able to be open. You are spending the time with your best friend. You are spending the time with someone who cares about you, who you love, who you want to share a life. I think to have again saying that relationship, there are different kinds of relationship. I believe that you need to be open. You need to be, be able to talk, express yourself, the person on your side about anything. Because, if you don't feel open to talk to the person you are sharing a life with, who are you going to be open to talk to? Who is going to be, you're going to be able to express yourself? So for me to lead, saying that as well, I think my previous relationship, communication from my side as well was very rare because again, you learn with time, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's about personality, it's about, I'm very shy, believe it or not, I'm very shy. Sometimes I find it difficult to express myself as well. But the older you get, I think you get more knowledge and based in other friends' relationship that didn't go well for some reason, or it's going very well, you kind of reflect yourself and see things there. But I think for me, to have a proper relationship or a healthy relationship, speak out about anything what's going on in your mind, even though it's something that you feel ashamed of, something that's bothering you, even if you do something that maybe you don't feel very proud of yourself. If you did a mistake, you know what I mean? Just speak out. Don't hold it to yourself, because that's when it's gonna affect the relationship, I believe. So I went around. I think the main thing is about communication, and it's about you to be truly to yourself as well. I think you need to be true to yourself and express yourself the way you are, because the person who you are with, they need to see the real person. They need to, you know what I mean, to feel who you really are. Because if you're gonna hide little things that you don't feel comfortable or something that you don't wanna, what's the point? I think you need to be, you know what I mean? It comes with time as well. You don't need to throw up everything in one day or in 1 week or in 1 month. Let it come with time, you know what I mean? Talk about it, express yourself in the way. Everything comes with time, but you need to be able to deal with the challenge when they come in your mind, maybe something that's bothering you. And also, it's not about yourself as well, it's about the other person. If something that you don't like for some reason, or you're insecure about it, ask about, talk about, you know what I mean? Go there, you know what I mean? Don't hold back. Don't put under the table, under the bed, you know what I mean? And don't just speak out. I think for me, this is it's a healthy way of dealing with a relationship or being in a relationship. And of course, when I have my next relationship, I'm gonna forget all about this theory.
They sound like a relationship coach. That's a very good answer.
No, just say, I think it's you know, it's about being yourself. I think nowadays in our community as well, we tend sometimes to, you know, because of insecurity, sometimes we pretend or maybe behave in a different way that you're not ourselves, just to please other people, or just to be seen a different way. But I think that's just pointless. You need to be yourself 100%, or try to be yourself all the time. And if you feel connected with someone, that's the time when it's a good opportunity for you to be truly yourself. If it works out, good. If it doesn't, good as well. It just didn't meant to be. Do you know what I mean? That's what I believe. Did you enjoy the? I was about to say, did you enjoy the relationship?
Yeah.
In a way, we had a relationship through the game. You know, in a way, we had a connection. So,
Give and take.
Did you enjoy the interview, Jef?
Oh yes, this was very good experience. It's very fun.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks for being so open and talking about, you know what I mean, your life, and about your desires, and about your happiness, about your happy life. That's what it's about us to express ourselves. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
A positive message, or something to live by. I would say remember to love each other. Sometimes we forget that, especially, you know, when politics comes into play. You mentioned that earlier. We forget who we are, and then we judge. Specifically in the United States, we do tend to judge each other's politics. And I know there's a difference between ethics and politics, and we forget that sometimes. But I think we need to remember to love each other and be there for each other, because it's been a pretty difficult few years. I think for everybody around the world, it's been pretty difficult, and we all need a break. So, remember to love each other.
Amazing. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure. And I see you sometimes too in Texas or in South Carolina or in another state in the US.
Look me up.
Take care, okay? Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for the interview again, okay? Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.